So today I'm super excited. It's my new show. I'm still playing with the name, so I'm not even gonna say a name right now. But no, it's about being a blerd, a black nerd. um, I remember when I first heard the term, I was like, "Oh yeah, that's fucking me. They were talking about me." And so yeah, so today I'm joined by one of my new pod homies, Mr. Kyle Eric. Before I let him like introduce himself real quick, I'll just say we had done a couple of shows together, like and panels, and then I recently co-hosted with him, and we just kind of realized, oh shit, blurs, blurs connect.
Word.
Let's do it.
Exactly.
So, so I had to have him for as one of the guests on one of the first episodes. So yeah, Mr. Kyle Eric. What's up?
And
What's up?
thank you for inviting me for the first episode. Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly that's an honor. How you doing? My name is Kyle Eric. I'm a freelance editor, podcaster, and I'm been a blurred since I forever. But
Right.
yeah. To be honest, forever. Started with
Yeah.
cartoons, and it started with cartoons. My
Branch.
dad gave me my first comics, and he didn't even realize what that did. Like he had
You know where he started,
graphic.
or maybe he did.
Maybe I don't know, because my dad, like my dad. Here's the thing. Growing up, according to some people, my dad didn't really like nerds when he was growing up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He collected
He
some
probably just
comics.
kept it to himself and shit. Like,
You know what I'm saying? So he was the dude that gave me, like, he gave me a classic Fantastic Four comic, an Avengers comic, and this is when the comic still cost like cents. You know what I'm saying? Like a few cents. So he sent me on that path. Then my aunt, she introduced me to Star Wars and Star Trek and Back to the Future and stuff like that. But I was always a big Power Ranger fan and Ninja Turtle fan.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Plus, my mom always told me, use your imagination. If I ever got bored, it was always use your imagination.
Yeah.
I don't want you in front of the TV. Use your imagination. Like, you have no idea what kind of.
I stayed making movies with my toys. Stayed making, or like you couldn't tell me because like I had like the X-Men and shit. So I would make episodes of X-Men. Like,
yeah, no,
like I think my shit started.
Yeah,
I'll say mine started as early as Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z. I would literally watch them simultaneously. Like, and I was just like, what is this? And then I fell in love with the X-Men series back then. And then it just branched because then I started getting comic books. Like my dad had got me a few, and they're like the graphic novels. Like I got like the big ones first, and I was like, damn, these like they were so detailed. And I'm like, I need to know more. Like, and it just branched. It just went in every Star Wars, fucking Game of Thrones. It just went in all the directions.
My anime journey started at age like really getting to know what anime was before I knew what it was. Right, that started at age 12 or 13. I started like just noticing the differences between Western animation and Eastern animation. The first time I had ever seen like somebody cuss and it just be normal.
Yeah.
Right. That was like, that's it. The first time I ever saw like somebody cuss, or the first time I ever saw like anime girl breasts, and like it's not saying. I'm like well, hold up, wait a minute.
What is this?
Wait a minute.
Yeah. I didn't like when the time when I started to realize there was a difference in what anime was. It was around the time I was watching Inuyasha and Yu Yu Hakusho. And I was like, with Yu, like he cussed like a motherfucker. He's just like, what the fuck y'all do? Just like he was on that shit. So it was just like that, and then Inuyasha being as abrasive as he was too. Sometimes it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I see what y'all putting down over there. And then I got the Cowboy Bebop, and then it just. Branch.
The soundtracks were on a different level, though. Like everything that you just mentioned, the soundtracks for anime, especially, were on a different freaking level. I downloaded every single one I could find off of. I come from the age of LimeWire, right? So
hell yeah.
Like
what? I used to sell big CDs out my locker.
I wish I had the foresight to do that. I could have made so much money. I had so much music.
What? Hell yeah! I used to make like April R&B mix. Hey, I got that. I got that mix for you. So straight up my locker, $5. Let's go.
Oh man.
But so okay, so today, specifically, what I wanted to see if you see the title is called the Marvel Update. Now I know you know. Last week Marvel kind of went a little crazy.
A little.
Like they said, you know what? Hold my shit. I got this. Like,
it's Super Bowl. It's
yeah,
Super Bowl weekend. Nuts. Okay, so
yeah. Let's start there. Let's start with that. Yes, Deadpool fucking trailer.
Let me think, dude.
I'm so ready. First off, to see this fucking movie, and I still can't fully grasp what the concept is going to be because there's been so many different ones out there, and they all kind of make sense a bit, right? Like theories on what is going to happen in the movie. But I know that the main point of it is to redo, you know, like to kind of start over the MCU in a sense.
It seems that way. It really does. It seems that way. Like when you've seen Loki, right?
Yep.
Okay, so
love it first off, but yes.
Yeah. So yeah, me too. Still got to finish the last season, but still absolutely love it.
Bro, oh my god, yeah, you gotta.
I gotta finish it. I gotta finish it. I know. Yes. I got a lot on my list. I got so much on my list. But
I still haven't seen the new season of What If, but go ahead. That's on my list.
Oh, okay. No spoilers. Then I'm not gonna. I won't do that to you. But just know.
Yeah.
But yeah, when we first see like the TVA and everything come in, I'm like, you okay? You knew that was gonna happen, and but the way that they cut this trailer together, and it says like, and he's like, oh, okay, so you and your little cinematic universe are gonna get a. I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, did you improv that line? I love it.
Yeah, I'm wondering because I think people have been like bogged down with the idea of the multiverse and annoyed with it, which I'm like, I don't fucking get. We barely even touched it. Like, y'all got a lot more to go. Like, if y'all tired of it now, which I don't really understand where the fatigue for multiverse came from, but with this, I'm hoping because it always seemed like the idea, but it will always be like just maybe one other universe or something. Like, I want to see multiple universes. And they'll do some multiverse shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to see him go to at least 3 or 4 universes instead of like when Doctor Strange, they like went through and like smacked like about 15 universes, but then like stay in them. And then there was an idea of people from the different ones, but they only essentially went to one other one, right?
Yeah, they really didn't. Like, I liked the Multiverse of Madness movie, but it could have, as far as the multiverse part of it, they could have explored more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not just talking about subtle differences, like, oh, whoever's alive in this universe, dead in that universe, and that person did this, and no, give me something wild, give me something crazy,
give me something crazy.
You know, this is
give me the 1600s world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like, 1602. That one was an interesting one. Like, you know, just like the. Or like they could have done, and I heard recently too that Marvel and DC have decided to bring back the Amalgam comics. Did you ever?
I know. I just saw that. I saw that.
Like, oh shit!
I just saw that. Like my cousin will tell you, he knows the Amalgam series, right? He knows the Amalgam line of comics. I did not know, not nearly as much as he did. When he talked about the Amalgam, I'm like, so they did at some point combine. Like, I knew they had like crossover,
just smashed them together, and it was like,
right?
I can't even think of the characters right now, but it'll be shit like, you know, Batman and Captain America.
Wolverine. There's Black Claw.
Shit like that.
Yeah, there's Black Claw, which is an amalgam of Wolverine and Batman. And
yes,
and that was my cousin's
favorite. One of like Doctor Strange and Dr. Fate. I just remember what his name was.
Yeah,
but it's So, they just could have explored with it being based on multiversal travel. They could have explored the multiverse a little more. But that's what I'm hoping that I get with this. I mean, it looks like that's what it's going to be going to the TVA. But
I'm hoping the same. I'm hoping the same thing. I also do know that unfortunately there are limitations with live
Yeah,
action. You know what I'm saying? Then much more than you have in animation, even though both of them are budgetary restraints and stuff like that. But
yeah.
like
But I
that's the
feel
thing I
like
love.
this because of how Marvel's been heading, and because it is Deadpool and it's Ryan Reynolds, they gave
Yeah,
that the biggest fucking budget. Like, do
listen,
whatever, just
just
here, whatever you need.
just do whatever. We getting
Yeah,
some more X-Men in this. Beautiful.
yeah, yes,
We're finally getting some connective tissue between Marvel Cinematic Universe and what they were trying to do with Fox. Okay.
yeah. Because there's the rumor like apparently Jennifer Garner's come back as Elektra in some part of
Yeah.
Daredevil, like Ben Affleck's Daredevil. So it's like it sounds like there's gonna be some bouncing in between worlds. Um, and what I'm thinking too is they might try to, because there was a hint at like the Secret Worlds, or Secret Wars comic and
Mm-hmm.
shit. And like how it ends with all the worlds coming like destroyed and just
Together.
being one.
Yep.
I'm thinking that might be what they're trying to do now, so that would help them bring all those other properties into the main canonical fold.
Let's do this. We
Yeah,
know that unfortunately what we can come up with in our heads versus what's
yeah,
actually going to happen. What's in our heads is probably going to be a lot better. You
a
know what I'm
lot
saying?
better.
It's
Yeah,
probably going
yeah,
to be a lot better
yeah,
because if you play with action figures or spent
yeah.
time reading comics or watching cartoons like that first time they did the multiverse thing in the Spider-Man 94 cartoon.
Yes,
I wanted
that
to see
shit.
more of
Yeah,
that, but that was like the end of the show, you know.
yeah.
And
Okay.
it's just, but I also have to keep in mind that this is mostly for general audiences. But now more people
Yeah.
are getting into this stuff thanks to things like this. So
Mhm.
let's get crazy, you know. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Let's get crazy.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna say too. It was exciting to see there's a part where Doctor Doom was there. So I'm assuming they're in like Latveria, and then there was a part where Pyro is there, and I'm like, oh shit, like so it's like there's
Pyro,
already with just those two hits, I'm like, oh yeah, see, okay, so we getting some shit. Like
really
I'm
hoping
excited.
that they don't. I'm sorry for cutting you off. I'm sorry.
No,
Um,
yeah, go ahead, yeah,
I'm really hoping that they don't give us Doom too early. Okay, I
yeah,
am really
okay,
hope
yeah, okay,
because I know they also announced the Fantastic Four casting, right?
yeah,
And
yeah,
while I'm happy to to see them come back after a few attempts, you
yeah,
feel me? Um,
yeah.
I re- I just really hope that they take their time with Doom. Okay, Doom
Yeah,
is
yeah.
supposed to be Thanos level, if not bigger. So you can't just
Mhm,
throw them in there like they did the last few times. I know it was different companies, but still,
mhm, yeah.
you know.
Like, okay, and just to because that was gonna be the next thing anyway, so you can just pivot on over to the announcement of the Fantastic Four for the new one.
Mm-hmm.
And real quick with that, like, uh, first off, 100% agree. Fucking Doctor Doom is literally Thanos level, like,
Mm-hmm.
and there's rumors that they're trying to transition to him being the next big bad because of everything with Kang, and they fucked up. They dropped the ball with that because they should have made him. They should have killed him off at Ant-Man. It was I was like, I'm sorry. The weakest of like not talking shit about Ant-Man, but like and the group, like
Mm-hmm.
pretty much one of the weakest, and you let your Thanos level threat get killed by him. Cool, that makes
Bad
sense.
writing.
Um,
What are you gonna do?
terrible. And the crazy thing is the movie was good itself. It was just that made the whole movie bad. It just turned the whole
Mm-hmm.
movie's head. Like, but so yeah, so they do have to take their time with Doctor Doom. And then it's like when I think about the how they portrayed him before, the one that came out like was it 04, 03, 04, something like that. I liked him in that. That was a good introduction to him. It was just that was all he was at that point. Like he didn't like if like in the second one, if he started to dabble in like magic, like how he is like one of the fucking world's leading fucking sorcerers, Like in the second one, if he had dabbled in magic a little bit, that would have advanced his character. But he just was like the same person.
It was a it was a very much just villain that happens to have some kind of powers, very very vague, very
smart rich villain.
Smart rich
I'm
villain.
a smart rich villain.
Smart. I'm gonna try and go after my best friend's girl. Blah blah blah. Like, you might as well be twirling your mustache at this point. You know what I'm saying? But like that's an old school villain right there. Just twirl the mustache.
But the guy who played him was like really good too. Like I like the first one was honestly, I don't know. I think the Fantastic Four from that time got out of flack mostly for the second one. Because I don't know what the fuck that Galactus was, but that will always be.
Oh, you mean the smoke
problem?
I
guess that was smoke, right? Like the fucking clouds or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck is this? I'm waiting the whole fucking movie. Like, oh shit, we about to see Galactus, and here goes smoke.
We get Silver Surfer, which Silver Surfer wasn't bad, but you get Silver Surfer, you bring it down to a PG rating, and you just give us smoke. That's it.
Yeah, like that was awful. But like the first one though, actually I liked it. I can like the rewatchability, like good quality and stuff. It's the second one was just a ball was dropped. So with that, how did you feel with the casting? Like I think honestly it works.
Personally, I think it works. I try my best not to, because I've done a few fan castings and stuff on my, my platforms and stuff like that.
There's some people who just look perfect for roles, like
exactly. But this is why I, now it's, sometimes I'm just gonna keep my fan casting to myself. I feel like what they've done so far is great. Honestly, I just want to see them on screen. I want to see how they interact. I want to see their chemistry as the first, the first family of Marvel.
It's supposed to be based in the 60s too.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard that they're going to do a period piece for the most part, and that is great because that is where they're from. That's where they know. I mean, if you were to bring them in now, it wouldn't make any sense. Based on everything that's happened up to this point, and we understand why it happened the way it did, but. If you try to bring them into the story now, and so many questions like, where the heck were you the last, the last few?
So they'll have to find a way to explain it, but it'll be more easily explained going to the past than
somebody's
where the fuck out here?
I heard someone's theory, and this is one that makes the most sense to me. Like they end up, going through like a time portal or the quantum realm or something, and then they wind up people out of time. So if that's the case, that would be one way to bring them in, as opposed to saying that they're in a separate universe altogether. But we'll see.
I mean because that one is probably a bit easier to do. But the time thing of like them being that makes more sense. Them having been time displaced or something like that makes a lot more sense. But it is. Hopefully, if they're not lazy, I don't know. Marvel has lazy moments, but overall, it's more 70-30 when it comes to lazy. So, there's still a chance that they won't take the lazy route. But more than likely, everybody's just in different universes and they go bring them together.
Right? We will eventually see. I think the beauty of having these multiverse stories, and I think the reason why you were talking about fatigue earlier, I don't think it's just Marvel. I think now everybody wants a multiverse. You know what I'm saying?
Because it makes it easier to just do whatever the fuck you want.
Exactly. Just like when Marvel was starting out with these movies, when the studio and everything was first established, and we got Iron Man, and we got that first post-credit scene where they were talking about putting the Avengers together. Everybody was wondering, could they do this? Are they actually going to do this? 10 years later,
and they fucking did it.
They did it. But
Amazing.
But and then the whole cinematic universe thing. But then after a while, so many companies wanted to have their own cinematic universes to keep up. And I think that is the problem. People want to follow
that
trends.
and Marvel's speed. They after the initial 3 phases, it still took time. They build again, like you said, 10 years. You know what I'm saying? They were slowly. It was like we get 2 or 3 movies a year, maybe if that. Every 2 years, at least we get 2 or 3 projects, and then it built to maybe 4. But it was starting to have like the separate characters just to kind of introduce, and then it was like bam, all of them. Infinity War, Endgame, let's go. And it worked because it was the pacing. And it was like immediately after that, Marvel just said, here. It was
we got quantity.
movies. And it was like
exactly. We just got quantity.
There's still no point of fucking Eternals. And I'm so mad. Like
you're so mad about the Eternals.
I mean, it wasn't a bad. I fucked with it. It wasn't a bad movie. It didn't make sense to bring them in yet. Like what? Like they wrote it interestingly enough to bring them in, but it was just like, okay, now what? We heard shit about them. They ain't been in nothing else. Okay, cool. That was nice. That was what, 4 years ago? Like, no word on a sequel, nothing. So it was like, what was the point?
Some of the stuff they set up, there's been no payoff. So
yeah, it's like they just started doing shit. Like here, hey y'all, but we can. It's like they got so ambitious. It's like hell yeah, we pulled that off. We can do whatever. Fuck it. Here, do that. We can do all this shit. Can't nobody touch us. And it was like, hey guys, the quality's dipping a little bit. Maybe let's slow down. Slow down. We Marvel. Take that. It's like, okay. But yeah, so like I'll say the casting, like, I fuck with it. I really like Pedro Pascal. First off, like since Game of Thrones. So he was amazing in that. He was amazing in Last of Us. So I'm sure he's gonna kill this. Like no problems there. Yeah, the woman Vanessa Kirby, I think she just looks. I was like, okay, yeah, I can see it. She looks like straight up old comic book. Like I'm seeing it. I was like, okay, yeah, I can see it totally. Joseph Quinn, that was interesting, but I can still see that too. For the Human Torch. Did you watch Stranger Things?
I'm a fan.
So he did really good in that. So like I can see that kind of character translating over to a Johnny Storm, you know. And then the last guy was Eben Moss Bacharach. I've seen him before, never knew his name.
I'm not familiar.
Yeah, I've seen him, but
I just want to know, like, how are they gonna do the, you know, are they gonna do a combination of practical effects and CG for the thing, or are we gonna get more of one over the other? You know?
Yeah.
The
one from the original one wasn't bad.
No.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
That 2013 one was fucking awful.
Yeah. That's why I didn't even watch it. All I had to do was I watched the trailer and then I left it alone. You know, I was more confused over why people were pissed off over a casting decision, and I'm like, but that has nothing to do with the story. Y'all are too worried about the look. You're not worried about the story at all. There have been worse, stories than this. And all of them happen to look like each other. Like it's just shoot. They have a full Fantastic Four movie that never came out. So
from like what 90s or something, 80s. Yeah, like it's on YouTube. I saw some of it. There's like parts and shit. But yeah, that also just makes me think. Side note of all the like projects we haven't seen.
Yeah,
like, the Nicolas Cage Superman that's out there. Like, it's just so many things that were just recorded and made, and just what? Never mind. The new Batgirl that was supposed to come out a few years ago. That's fucking shit.
And
apparently it was supposed to be
Wile Coyote movie, and
it's just a lot of movies we'll never get. But shit. All right, so the last thing is X-Men '97 trailer. Did you see that?
Boy, listen.
I didn't watched it. Like,
I love it.
yeah,
I absolutely love it. So like and that. Okay, they got me. They got me immediately with the beginning of the trailer being on
yeah,
a classic TV from the
yeah. As soon
'90s.
as they started zooming in, I said, "Oh shit,
Like I'm
oh
watching in
shit."
my bedroom. Like you just
Yeah, like I was like,
man,
"Oh shit, here it comes."
it's just bro. It honestly, it was beautiful. The animation changes are nice. The
Yeah,
animation change is
yeah.
nice. The modern animation
Because it
looks
looks, it's weird how it looks old and new.
and new at the same time. And
It was like, I was like, this is crazy. Yeah,
yeah, it very much has a Western versus Eastern aesthetic, you know,
yeah,
and
yeah,
they got most of the original cast back.
yeah,
That
yeah.
in that also and that also helps. Somebody pointed out during the ending when they were talking to Magneto, and he was like, "Oh, here's
Yeah.
the last will and testament to Charles Xavier." It looked like they were playing like they just came back from a b-ball game or something, right? So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
somebody on TikTok was like, "I want to know what the heck this game was like." Like, screw what everything else was going on. He just pointed out
Right.
everything that they were wearing, and they were like, "I want to know who was scoring what on this game." Like who?
Yeah.
Like I
What
didn't
the fuck
even
was y'all
notice
playing?
that.
Because
I
yeah,
I didn't even
no.
notice
When he
that.
said my literal goosebumps, it was like, it's always those terms that we just can't wait to hear them say.
Mm-hmm.
Like my mind always goes back
X-Men,
to Endgame when he finally said fucking Avengers.
Avengers
I
assemble
literally
after he caught
like
Mjolnir.
chills. Yeah.
Because
So
that
it was
whole
like when he
first it was
said,
Mjolnir, and then he finally
yeah,
said Avengers assemble, and they charge, and that
and I just I
my
couldn't. I
entire
literally
theater
I
erupted.
still yeah, I still lose my mind on that part. Like, watch that,
Yep.
just like, goose fucking bumps. So, literally, same feeling when he said to me, my X-Men. I said,
X-Men.
oh, shit. It's coming. It's coming. Yes, I'm so,
And it's coming sooner than I thought.
yeah.
We only got a
Yeah,
month.
this
We only
summer,
got
if
a
I'm not
month.
mistaken. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, next month. Yeah.
next month.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
coming next month.
Yep.
But it might come out on okay, now this is just a gripe, but I also have to shout out a YouTuber by the name of Black Nerd Comedy.
Yeah.
He said while he was reacting to the trailer, he was like, put this out on Saturday mornings. Put
Yeah.
this out on Saturday mornings. I was talking to
Oh,
our
yeah,
boy
that's
Steady the
perfect.
other day, right? I was talking to our
That's
boy
perfect.
Steady the other day, and he agreed. Like, put this out on Saturday mornings. I want to feel like I got my bowl of cereal, and
No.
and
It's over.
cartoons are
Yeah.
on. I want to have that feeling, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. That's perfect, actually. Fucking, I'll say like this, as far as superhero comics goes, um our like TV shows or whatever and cartoons, the earliest ones that really
Yep.
like stuck with me
Mm-hmm.
um was this and Batman animated series. Those two
Mm.
were like the earliest ones that I really was like, I gotta see this, because they were so like, they were dark. They were dark as
It was
shit. Like,
dark.
X-Men is a really fucking
Yep.
dark story. Batman, really fucking dark story. So it was like watching both of those. And those were like that started my love for animated, like, superhero shit.
Yeah. No,
And
I
then
hear you.
X-Men, like this series, like I just I did a rewatch recently. It is so funny with some of the stuff that was like corny, because like Jean Grey is annoying as shit. Scott like passing out every 20 minutes. It's like, Jesus, this is the
You
Phoenix?
are a high level mutant. You're a high
You are
level
literally
mutant.
Omega
How is
level.
it that they act like they don't know what to do with you outside of the Phoenix storyline? I don't understand that.
Yeah. No
You
one
know?
ever does, though. Like, I don't think anybody's ever, but that's why I like the Uncanny X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was one of her more powerful times
Mm-hmm.
that she was written. Outside of more recently, like House of X, or like the whole like new, like the past 4 years or whatever, that
Yeah.
started that whole story, Fall of X, all that. That was like another, I think, my favorite version of Jean, because it was like, bitch, do you know who I am? I can do anything really. Just, like, and it wasn't passing out after levitating a book. You know, like
I don't understand. I don't understand that. Like I get that this was the 90s. I get that this was the 90s. But you telling me you didn't have one like not like one female writer in that writer's room that could take a stab on writing this character? This doesn't it didn't make like sense to me. But maybe it's because I'm looking at it now, you know?
Yeah. Like it's the contrast, because it's like also I looked at Storm and she had really weak moments too. And I'm like, hey, she's a literal goddess. Why is this happening right now? Like it was just like so that's one thing I hope to see in the new series. Power levels that match. And from that one scene that they showed Storm like commanding a whole fucking, you know, on the thunder shit, that shit looks like they might be a little bit stronger now. I'm hoping so.
I'm really just hoping that they give them good lines. You know, I mean, actors one thing, the dialogue's another. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I hope that
was some cheesy shit back in the day.
but we ate it up. We ate it up.
Yeah.
You know, and to this day, I still go back and best believe I'm gonna rewatch a lot of X-Men to get ready for this. You know, to get ready for this series drop. You know. But
I was thinking about that actually, so I'll probably start that this week,
bro. Definitely do it, because this is supposed to happen right after that original series ended. So now, us being where we are in life, you know, and still loving this stuff, thankfully, we have certain expectations, and I also understand that can cloud people's judgment sometimes. You know, when it doesn't live up to the expectations you have. But I gotta speak on something since we're on the subject.
Yeah.
So there was this tweet going around right after the trailer dropped, and they were like, I love the X-Men, but I don't like all this woke stuff. And I'm like, okay, so you can tell that whoever wrote that just likes the X-Men because they make things explode. They don't,
or like they just like Wolverine, you know.
They just like Wolverine. They have like selective. They just like the fights. They don't care about the. It is literally about discrimination. What is it that you don't see? Plus, you're using woke wrong. I'm not gonna get on a I'm not gonna get on a soapbox right now. But every time
I hate it. Every time they say it, I'm like.
Every time I'm like, that is not how you use that word. That is not what that is for.
That's called diversity. Bitch, that's not...
just it literally means awake, aware. Okay, it means you're no longer sleeping. It means you know what is wrong here.
You're paying attention to what the fuck is going on.
Exactly. That's all it means. It's not some weird movement.
Jesus.
It's not some.
It's not making a mermaid black.
No, it literally means awake. It is right in the word anyway. And you
it drives me nuts. No, thank you, because it drives me fucking nuts.
And you put this on X-Men? I mean, they put this on everything. Let's be clear, okay?
But X-Men is literally for that. It was for outcasts.
Yes, X-Men is woke. They've always been. They have always been. Oh, and there was also apparently this controversy about a character being non-binary, and the person
so it was like
it's morph. It's freaking morph.
Who can morph?
If anybody makes sense to be non-binary, it's a person who can literally change into anybody. So I don't understand. I do not understand this stupid controversy. It makes too much sense.
Somebody had tweeted, and I literally copied it. Like, it was this guy, he tweeted about that, like, X-Men was never about your perverse ways and all this. And I was like, Jean Grey, fucking Emma and fucking Cyclops literally made out on top of Jean Grey's grave once because it turned Emma on. What the fuck are you talking about?
Please, they be sneaking they be sneaking so much stuff in comics and in shows and everything that we grew up on. Don't act like you don't know, please. That's one thing.
That was the story.
that was the thing. You know how many references to perverse things you can catch in just about every cartoon we grew up watching. Everything.
All of them. Shit, all of them.
Everything.
Yeah. That's just wild. So, motherfuckers are just, they look for shit to complain about.
That's exactly. Yeah. And we have the internet, so everybody's gonna know everybody's opinion. And I get it. Everybody
want to be
one.
Oppressed.
But you gotta do your research first before you go and start typing. Do some actual research.
X-Men is dark and perverse and fucking woke as you can fucking
exactly.
If you want to say that, you know what
I'm saying? Political commentary on how we treat each other.
Yeah.
It is how we treat each other.
For being different.
Oh my God. For just being
exactly
different.
The point of it.
You know?
You're proving the point of the show. like proving the point of the whole everything. That's it.
Man, everything. It is hilarious.
Yeah,
it is freaking hilarious. But I gotta ask you a question, dude.
Yeah.
I gotta ask you a question. If you were an X-Men, if you were a mutant, what would your power be?
I've always struggled with this because it's changed, but they usually tend to be based around mind type things. So yes. Telepathy, telekinesis, technopathy. So I feel like either that or magic, and I'm more so leaning towards magic because we're older. I think I would be like a Doctor Strange, Wanda type magician, or wizard, however. Yeah, yeah.
I can see that. Yeah. I can see that. Because
you
have this ability to bring up positive energy wherever where like last couple times you and I have been on a podcast together. You kept the positive energy up. You know what I'm saying? So I could definitely see.
I try.
That.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Hey, it's the meditation. Yeah, man. Oh yeah, I was saying, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I'm stepping all the way. I'm sorry.
No, you good. I was just gonna ask what yours was.
Yeah, mine. I've thought about this, and I've been asked this on multiple occasions, and I thought about it, and it would be something basic. Like my girlfriend my girlfriend is so she's convinced that I'm telepathic or psychic sometimes with our conversations. Right? I'm like, no, I don't think I am. I just think you and I are synced very well. I think that's what it is. But and I wouldn't want to be like telepathy sounds cool, but at the same time, either telepathy or psychic reading, I would not want to do that because it feels like I'm prying into people's business, and I don't want to do that. So I would keep mine basic and go either flight or teleportation. If I could just,
I can see teleportation.
Yeah, I would probably go either flight or teleportation because I've always wanted to just think about where I'm going and just I'm there. Snapping my finger, I'm there. That would have helped me so much because I am sometime on some real CP time. So I would definitely need some teleportation.
Yeah. I fuck with that. I feel that. Yeah, I would. Yeah, see, and that's why, because it's so hard for me, like with the whole because I just outside of that, I naturally just do a bunch of different shit: graphic design, writing, singing, dancing. So it's like when I think of powers, it's always changed. So it's like, and it could be as broad as fucking charging items with kinetic energy, like Gambit. Because I remember I thought about that, like, damn, low key, I would probably like that. So that's why I was like, I think magic would work because it could encompass multiple things. You know what I'm saying? And yeah.
Would you charge up Wolverine's claws like he did in the scene in the trailer?
I was like, oh shit. Oh
my God! I want them to. I hope that's not just a scene made for the trailer.
Yeah. I hope that's real, and I hope that's something that is collective. Like, I want to see more combos like that.
I want to see more combo moves, like we're doing Marvel versus Capcom up in here. I want to see some real combo moves.
Yes.
Oh my God,
man, that shit was crazy, man. No, bro, I appreciate it. I appreciate this so fucking much. Game because
Thank you.
I can blurt out all day. Like,
me too.
Like legit. Like, so next, like, I want to have episodes where I do like either, you know, like I said, just a Marvel update or a DC update, stuff like that, or pick a specific property and kind of just talk about that. You know, like I said, you know, it could be as broad as anime or as narrowed down as, you know, specifically Demon Slayer, like, you know, shit like that. So it's gonna be, you know, a little broad, but it's gonna be fun, and I'm definitely gonna hit you up for some more. But before I let you go, definitely let the people know where to follow you and find you.
You can find me pretty much anywhere, but I am Kyle Eric 3233 on Instagram. You can also catch me on my mental health podcast, A for Abled, where we talk about mental health as well as living with a disability or a difference from the perspective of those who have them, not from a medical perspective, not from a psychologist's perspective, no, from those who actually have to go through whatever they go through, whatever it may be, mental, physical, emotional, it don't matter. We're all people. Another thing is, if you want to nerd out with me and you want to nerd out with my family, if you go to On the Brain ENT and we nerd out about anything, anime, comics, movies, all of that. You know, so that's where you can find me.
Hey, yeah, I'm down to be on either one of those. The mental health shit is totally up my alley. So yeah, but
bro, we're gonna be talking about your books. Okay, we are definitely gonna be talking about your books because you are doing your thing right now, man. I appreciate it, and I know you got a story to tell, so you're definitely invited. Both.
Yes. Appreciate that, man. Yeah. Again, once like next topic I got for you, I'm hitting you up. Because we're gonna blur it out in this bitch. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Have a good one. Peace.